It is Monday, and y'all know what that means. It's Monday Motivation Night. So welcome in, everybody. If you do not know who I am Pamela, aka Scooterrenee. I'm your host of Monday Motivation, as I am for all Monday Motivation. So welcome in, everybody. Sorry, I just noticed another. I don't know if I got like an allergy thing coming on or what's going on. Anyway, sorry about that. So welcome in, guys. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. You subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell for all notifications and a thumbs up on your way in, on your way out. I would greatly appreciate that. So welcome in. If you are new to my channel, I hope you'll continue to come on back and catch the Monday night motivations. They are every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. Not only do I do Monday motivation, but I also do auctions on Tuesday, some Wednesdays, Thursdays, and some on the weekend. So you can always catch me at some point. And also, I am on other channels as well. But so if you are subscribed to me, if you pay attention to the community page, the community tab on YouTube, you can see everything that I'm into and doing. So if you are new, welcome in. All my OGs, I see you coming in. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see each and every one of you here again for this week. And then my playback crew, I can't do this without you guys. So thank you to the playback crew. If you will leave me a comment, let me know that you're the playback crew. And some of the chat participation questions that I throw out there tonight, if you want to participate still, then just leave a comment with those answers. So we'll see who all is in chat, and then we'll get started. These chapters, I think, are going to probably give us a full hour every Monday, if not, a little over. Usually I do 45 minutes to an hour, but these are very in-depth topics that we are getting into. So let's see who all is here. First in is Selena. Welcome in, my feather sister. Good to see you. We got Joanne here. Hello, Joanne. Welcome in. And then we got Josie here. Hey, Josie. Guys, Selena and I will both be on with Josie Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central. So if you are not subbed to Josie, now is the time to click on those three dots out to the side of Josie's name. And then be sure to catch us Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central. Josie also does other amazing auctions as well. So make sure you are subscribed to Josie. All right, let's see. We got Steph here. Hello, Steph. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. I love Steph and Mr. Stephanie because they are not only wonderful people, but they always, shout me out anytime I show up over there and stuff. So, make sure you are supporting them as well. Again, click on the three dots, go to their channel and click subscribe. So make sure y'all are doing that for each and everybody that's here, whether they're a reseller or not, right? We got my sister from Colorado. Hello, Cool. Welcome in. Good to see you. Cool does a lot of great auctions on her channel as well. So make sure you're subscribed to Cool. All right. See if I'm missing anybody. There's Steph's better half, Mr. Stephanie. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. All right. And Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Welcome in. Good to see you. You're fine, Mr. Stephanie. You can type in caps all you want. If anything, you'll definitely get my attention. So if I don't say hello to you, do the cap thing and let me know that you're here. All right. Lisa D, welcome in. Good to see you. Guys, I can't stand not saying hello to people. And then I forget that I say hello to you. So then I'm like double conscious and making sure I say hello. So just to show it's never intentional that I don't say hello to you. We got Tammy here. Dream Chaser, welcome in. Good to see you. All right. I think I got everybody. So if I didn't say hello, if you're lurking in the background, just say hello. Let me know you're here so I can say hello back. That's all. So we got a lot to cover tonight, guys, as always. So last week we started our climb with our mindset cables, and we discussed what they were and why they were so important for the start of our climb of Hero Mountain. So we started climbing a little last week. We're going to continue that climb this week. Christine, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, welcome in. Um, so tonight we will be discussing a couple of other cables that we need to go along with this climb that we're doing. One is our purpose cable, and the other is our passion cable. And again, what are they? How do we need to use them in this climb and so forth? So we are going to be discussing our passion cable and our purpose cable tonight. What's this spot thought? Letting go of some of the adverse feelings associated with change will assist in our venture to move forward. Well, you come right on in, Christine. You know you're welcome anytime, girl. Anytime. So that was our positive spot thought, and I'm going to hit on that a little bit later here in the notes. But with our climb up to Hero Mountain, as we have called this mountain that we're climbing all together, we need to have two more cables to assist us in this. And that, again, is the passion and the purpose cables that we need. These are valuable to have in our climb, but it is helpful to articulate them in written form what our purpose statement and mission statement is. So now you're kind of getting a glimpse at what we're going to be hitting on tonight. These two are distinctly important goals about our life and about our proposed venture ahead of us. If you don't know the difference between the two, don't worry, we're going to go over it as always. We're going to define them. A purpose statement clearly defines what one intends to bring to the table and what they want to accomplish. A mission statement articulates the why. One is passionate about those goals. Why are you passionate about the goal that you are trying to achieve? So since we're talking about cables / ropes with our mindset and talking specifically tonight about purpose and passion, those cables tonight, there are two types of ropes that we need to be mindful of as well while we're climbing Hero Mountain. So we got cables and we got ropes. I've never climbed before. I don't understand, but I do know there's multi things involved. So the first rope that we have, it is called the dynamic rope. Now this rope stretches to absorb the impact if you were to fall while climbing Hero Mountain. It's also true in real climbing experience that is what that rope, the dynamic rope, is to absorb the impact if you were to fall. So it is structured with enough stability to hold your weight of your solid goals and dreams. The second rope, that rope is known as the static rope. The static rope has a little stretch to it, but this rope makes it efficient for ascending a rope. If there was an emergency in lowering someone who has been injured, or if you're carrying up a load, if you have a load on your back that you're trying to get to the top of the mountain with, that's where the static rope comes in handy. And this rope is flexible enough to deal with the stresses of life. So you got the dynamic rope and you got the static rope. Scooter, I didn't know we were coming for a climbing lesson. Well, just hang in there with me. Hang in there just a little bit longer, guys. But just like these two ropes, when we have a well thought out and written purpose and a mission statement, we will be structured with enough stability to hold the weight of solid goals and dreams. Yet also at the same time, flexible enough to deal with the stress of an emergency or change of plans that life throws at us and the competition that greets us throughout life as well. So you can see where those are coming into play, right? With climbing Hero Mountain, we have to have a clear purpose and we need to be equipped with dynamic and static understanding that will prepare us to be successful. Hey, Christy, welcome in. Good to see you. Woo, look at Christine coming in here. Static stays in place. Dynamic moves and grooves. Yes. So, we all have had family members and friends that appear to have it all together on the outside. Hey, Nancy, welcome in. Good to see you. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. We've all had those type of people in our lives. They just appear that they have it all together. We've talked a lot about social media and about how all we see is the good things, when it comes to people posting and stuff. It's all about the happy stuff. And rarely do we ever see the grunge of somebody's life on social media, right? So we have family members or friends that all act like they've had it all together on the outside. We also have had those same people who seem to have everything going for them. Everything. It almost seems like it's just being handed to them. And had absolutely anything that they could possibly want and then destroyed their lives. So I think my stepdad, when I say this, I also think of a hairdresser that I had when I say that last part as well. They had everything going for them and had absolutely anything that they could possibly want or need, and then they just totally destroyed their lives. I'm assuming Stitch Lover is Shelby, right? So huge prayer request. Grandma's not doing too well. So let me know if that's not you, Shelby. I'm assuming that's it. That's you. All right. She said, yes, girl. That's me. Yes, girl. So let me see where I left off here. Yeah. So my stepdad and a previous hairdresser that I had. I can't help but think, how does someone's life go so far off the rails? And unfortunately, some of them play Russian roulette because a passing may happen due to choices that they made. Yet we find ourselves, our own personal self, having made it to the other side. What fueled those of us that made it to the other side? What did we have? We thought this other person had it all together. They had everything that they could ever want, but they were still trying to find that one thing, that one fix. And here we are feeling like we struggle and we don't have everything that we could possibly want or need or whatever that may look like. We don't have those things, but what got us to the other side? How did we end up succeeding? And how did we fight off those demons that others have had to deal with that held them hostage? And what that was or is aspiration. Aspiration is what is fueled by a clear purpose. Having ambition that is driven by a clear purpose is imperative to achieving our goals. It prepares us to deal with the objectives that will come along the way of our climb, especially those of us that are in the second half of our lives. And Selena, just want to share, Selena said greed. It definitely can be greed. And that they crash because they're greedy. Yeah. And Steph says it starts with a day at a time, sometimes moment to moment, right? Of course. Christine says, one of my best girlfriends since we were young married a man that was extremely successful. He played roulette with their finances and lost everything. That's exactly what my stepdad did. Exactly. Yes. And y'all have heard that story. So. I have to. No, I have not. I will have to do that. I know you mentioned it before, but I not. I will definitely check that out. All right. So when we have a well-defined goal, it keeps us focused and it provides feedback immediately when we get distracted from the goal that we have set. Having a clearly stated purpose also contributes to having healthy habits and is scheduled as orderly and effective, which will allow us to decline unnecessary activity that comes to distract us from our goals. Like when I was going to the gym, I went to the gym 2 nights a week. 2 nights a week was all I asked. It was Mondays and Wednesdays, I believe. And the only way I didn't go to the gym is somebody was on their deathbed, somebody was bleeding, whatever. It had to be something super major for me to sit there and put it off and not go. It had to be something huge. It was a no deal break unless something major was going on. And so that's what it's talking about when we have healthy habits and a schedule that's orderly and effective. That is what will help us to decline unnecessary things that are coming into our lives that we don't even know are there to distract us from our ending goal. Steph says also having anyone to rely on, even if it's someone just to talk to, right? Yes. A lot of us, have that, at least that one person that we can go to and we can tell absolutely anything to when we're having a rough day, when we have fallen flat on our face and, we said we weren't going to do this one thing or whatever, and we fall flat on our face, and that we can admit it to this person without being judged for it, right? So when our purpose is clear, that discipline of a lifelong learning feeds our purpose. Some of us may have had, I'm just going to say, drug addictions or an addiction of some sort, whether it be gambling, alcohol, shopping, whatever there may be as far as an addiction. Or we've had family or friends that did. And as we all know, drugs, and I can only speak of that because that's what I've gone through with my stepdad. Drugs especially can rip a life apart. Relationships that were once strong are no more. However, the reason why lives get ripped apart is because the next fix becomes the main ambition for the addict, right? I'm shopping an addict. I will say that. I could be going through a major thing in my life, whether it be a death in my family, fighting with somebody, whatever that may be. And I just need that little fix to buy that one thing that will give me a little bit of happiness in the moment. So I'm not just talking about drug and alcohol addictions and stuff. I'm talking about any type of addiction that you may have. Some people might have a food addiction. And so they're just living until that next meal, that next snack, whatever that may be. But the reason why lives get ripped apart is because that next fix becomes the main ambition for us. We're doomed and gloomed until we get whatever it is that is our fix. And for a moment, we're happy and life is good. Or so we think. Christine, trinket boxes, not making light, just making fun of myself, right? Some people get a little feisty when it comes to those trinket boxes, not mentioning any names. Right, Sandy? Filling a hole. There's something there that they're trying to fill. The most important thing to remember, though, is that certain addictions alone do not cause someone to end their life. For most, their demise began even before the addiction, especially when there was no career design, no life purpose, no end goal in mind. Maybe with prudent counsel from a trained professional. That's what I'm trying to say. A trained professional or friends and families that really do care, the guidance and a commitment to a plan, many lives might have yielded different results with focus, promise, and direction. Having a lack of purpose can send anyone to an early grave, and that's with an addiction or no addiction. I mean, in my business, I hear a lot of people say, and this is the second generation or so, and they'll say, well, then mom or dad retired. It's like they lost their purpose in life and they had nothing left to look forward to. And so they passed at an early age. I've seen it over and over. I've been in this business for 30 years. And that is one thing I've heard. And then I've had my retired people that say, man, I don't know how I ever worked. I got more to do now than I ever did when I had a job. So I've seen both sides. Start with the end in mind. We all know that when we were younger, if you will remember with me, when we were younger, most of us were asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Love you, Sandy. Right? I just have to acknowledge this. Retail therapy can be toxic. Living example of that. Yes, unfortunately. So start with the end in mind. And the question that we were asked when we were little is, what do you want to be when you grow up? The other question we never were asked, at least I never was where do you want to be when you grow up? Meaning, where do you want your career, your life? Where do you want your life to take you? Where do you hope you end up at? It's important to ask both questions. What do you want to be when you grow up? Where do you want to be when you grow up? The most important time to revisit and ask these questions again is when we're at a halftime in our life, when life positions and aspirations become much more intimately interrupted. Right, Steph? Yes. Oh, she meant author, like writing a book. Yes. So, the most important, well, I told you that. I'm like up in my notes instead of being where I need to be. Having ambitions and dreams are very admirable, right? But what we need to ask ourselves at this point, however, is what legacy will I leave behind? Maybe you've asked yourself this, but you've struggled with the what part of that question. What legacy will I leave behind? I know when my parents passed, and some of you as well that have walked through this as well, we had to go through some of their belongings. I had to sort through and dispense their belongings, what was worth keeping, what wasn't. I mean, personally, all of it's worth keeping, but realistically, right? And we all lose loved ones. We will at some point have to sort through and dispense their belongings that they had here on earth. And the reality hits life's brevity and limitations at that point. We might even get philosophical and we hear that question that whispers life's tapestries of, why are we here? The building of memories for our loved ones and friends and constructing work that will last beyond our time here is noble and worthwhile for those that are left here after our passing, yet nothing on earth lasts forever. I mean, take it, for example, a family business. Family businesses are lucky to go beyond the third and the fourth generation. But only 30% of all family-owned businesses survive into the second generation. So yeah, if there's a third or a fourth, that percentage goes down even more. And so it's a very lucky family if it's able to continue. So it's important to ask both questions to yourself. What do you want to be? And where do you want to be? Especially even now when we're at halftime, when life positions and aspirations become more intimately intertwined. So outdated or classic? We all have, for the most part, touchscreen phones. For the most part, again, most of us have this. I know, like, if my dad was still alive, he would have a flip phone. Right, Josie? Josie said, I like who I am today. Took a long time getting here. Yes. Right? And she has. She has. And I can hear you, Sandy, going, in heaven with Jesus saying, you did good, girl. Right? Yeah. Well done, good and faithful servant is the biggest thing I want to hear. You and your husband and daughter have an excellent legacy. Your reseller business is just a smidgen of what your business is. I applaud you. Oh, thank you, Christine. All right. So we all have touchscreen for the most part. Before that, we had to use these things called books to find out about places and things. We had songs that we had to wait for them to come out on an 8-track or a record or tape or a CD. And medical information. We had to wait until the next doctor's appointment to be told what a diagnosis meant if they didn't tell us then. You know, we didn't have where we can go and Google it, which is not a good thing, if I should say. But I was doing that today with my note that I got from my physical therapist to give to my specialist doctor tomorrow when I go for that appointment. And I was looking at it, I was like, there's two big words in this note that she wrote to my doctor. I gotta look this up. So anyways, but even some technology back then, like computers, they were slower and they were becoming outdated and everything. And we had to look at, God forbid, we had to look at paper maps and try and figure out where the heck Geronimo is. That is an inside joke of mine and Robert Roplow's Geronimo, because we have been together this month 25 years since our first date. So, and I flew out with him to California, and we were trying to find the word. We were trying to find the street Geronimo. Well, I was thinking he was literally wanting me to see if we could find the street. I wasn't putting that he wanted me to find the street sign that he just saw on the map that we had. And it was a paper map of California, of all places. And he goes, look for Geronimo. And I'm like, there it is. I was so proud of myself. We were at a stoplight. I'm like, it's right there. We're at Geronimo. And he goes, on the map, stupid. Now, he didn't mean stupid, but you know what I'm saying. But we laughed and laughed and laughed. So anytime he says Geronimo, I know exactly what he's talking about from that past. So, but again, I know 25 years ago, we still had to use paper maps. So, the unchanging truth, however, is why songs and books, though, have still remained through the centuries. Some classical composers were destitute during their most productive years. Let's look at J.S. Bach. Y'all know who Bach is, right? He wrote prolifically for the church and the court during his lifetime. But did you know that half of his brilliant manuscripts were used as waste paper waste paper for wrapping fish. He could have given up at that time when he might have knew that, but Bach lived with a purpose. So his awesome, beautiful compositions that we play over and over today speak of his purpose that he had. So the big question for us tonight is, what is our why? Having a mere goal or action plan will not suffice the ultimate reason for setting a compass towards a particular direction. The purpose, mission, and vision statements should be related in the message and aim. The core purpose that we each individually must have combined is what, why, what, and where in it. So let's start there. Let's start with why, what, and where. With comedic humor, one of the great principles is to simplify the message, reducing the topic to its core essence, getting to the point, if you will. Robert, he likes to say to me ever so often, land the plane, Pamela, land the plane, Scooter. And my stepdad, when he was in a hurry back in the day when I was growing up, and my mom, he's having a conversation with my mom, and my mom wanted to tell a story right when he's trying to get out the door. Hey, Wendy, welcome in. Good to see you. And, it couldn't be, hey, hon, can you pick up a loaf of bread? It was, well, so-and-so used this bread, and they loved it. And how long, they were just bragging about how long it would last and what was good on it and everything, and how often they would eat this bread. And you can only buy this bread from this store. You can't buy it from this other store, so forth and so on. But he'd be like, tell me what is the main thing I need to know right now. I got to go. Which, of course, was to get a loaf of bread. That was the main point. So you can tell I come by innocently when I'm telling Roflo my story stuff, right? Hey, I need you to do this. But wait, I got to tell you about this and why it's so important, right? Good night, Shelby. Improvised comedy begins with identifying the who, what, and where. Now, as soon as I saw that, I was like, think about the game Clue. It has the who, it has the what, and it has the where. Because that's how you win the game, when you figure out who, what, and where. Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the study. Quick and to the point. You know it was Colonel Mustard. You know he had the candlestick. And he was in the study when he had the candlestick. We don't need to know anything else. We know Colonel Mustard did it with the candlestick, right? Yes. If you don't identify the basic parts, it's difficult to advance the scene to the next part or to play another round of Clue. So the basic elements count. If we find ourselves at some point in our life where the story is simply lagging, we usually will feel frustrated and uncertain about life, right? I've been there. I know some of y'all have had to be there as well. We're able to move the scene forward, and that happens when we ignore the basic elements. We're unable to move the scene forward because we don't have the basic elements, the who, what, and where. So our core purpose should combine our why, what, and where. First chat participation tonight. And you thought we weren't having these tonight, did you? First chat participation. Who do you want to be in 10 years? Who is willing to share? I'm 50 now, and so in 10 years, I'll be 60. So who do I want to be in 10 years? And when I asked myself that question, first I flipped out because our oldest granddaughter is 12. She's going to be 13. I don't know if I put this later on my notes. But anyways, I just about fell out of my chair. I'm like, that means in 10 years, our oldest granddaughter is going to be 22, 23 years old. That means there's a heck of a chance that I could be a great Gigi. What? So anyways, back to the question. Who do I want to be in 10 years? I know I want to be a wife to the love of my life still. I want to be valued even more in the career that I'm in because I don't see myself retiring. I want to be who is comfortable with life and not as stressed about certain aspects of my life. So who do you want to be in 10 years? I want to see what y'all have to share. Joanne says, I want to be alive and able to take care of myself, right? Not have to be dependent on anybody. Cool says, I want to be a great grandmother in 10 years. Might be closer than that. Woo! Selena says, I want to be a writer. I may not be here in 10 years, Josie said. It's up to God, and I'm okay with that. But my gosh, Josie, I know how old you are. Most of the people here knows how old you are. You're still going to look like you're 64. You're going to act like you're 64, okay? I mean, let's get real here. Lisa D says, more like Jesus. Yes. Love these. So, we got our who. Who do we want to be in 10 years? So let's move on to the why mission statement. This is one that can be hard to deal with. But the why to your mission statement should be one short sentence, and that's it. Straight to the point. Hold on. Steph says, I'll be 52 in 10 years. I want to be valued for who I am, not what benefit I can be to anyone. Right? Yes, I want to be the woman of 52 can be proud of. Yes, the woman that the woman of 52 can be proud of. Yes. Christine says, healthy, retired, and doing my calling, helping animals in need. Yes, love it. All right, now you're just sucking up, Selena. That's all it is. You're just sucking up to Josie. Oh, Nancy, I love yours. Get my bachelor's degree and be a much better me, right? I got my bachelor's degree when I was 45. So it's never too late. I love it. Wendy says, I would like to be alive and capable of taking care of myself, maybe even a grandmother, right? Thank you, guys. So the why statement, the why mission statement, it's one the hardest to deal with, but it's one short sentence. Nancy's 53. I've always wondered, but I never wanted to ask. Because you never ask a woman her age. I ask her mine all the time. I could care less, right? There we go. Look at y'all being brave. So, the mission statement is not about a job or a role or a to-do list. So, it must capture our personal passion and it must define our personal callings. It also shouldn't be someone else's. Remember, we are all unique to ourselves. There's no one else like us, probably in most cases, thank goodness. Don't know if I could deal with two. So it should be relatable to us. We should be able to establish and define what principle, what cause, and what purpose that we stand for, even if others are against it. When we do this approach, it eliminates all that non-essential clutter in our brains. We all have that, right? And it brings a clear focus. So when we determine what doesn't excite us, we characterize what drives us. To figure the what drives you, start to explore. This is where I have to chuckle. Funny, because we just talked about this on Dream Chaser Tammy's channel on her auction. But start to explore when you want to know what drives you, at what gets you up in the morning. What gets you up in the morning? What gets you fired up to get up out of bed? I must admit that I feel bad because nothing, I say that, nothing gets me up in the morning because I'm just not a morning person. As I shared earlier, I had to get a shower tonight because I thought, oh, I'll get up in the morning. This was last night. I'll get up in the morning at 6:45, jump in the shower, get ready for work. 6:45 came, hit that snooze, woke up at 7. 15 minutes later. I'll take one tonight. So that's what I had to do tonight. But I'm just not a morning person. I used to be a late night person and not a morning person. And I was great with that. Now I'm neither one. I'm not a morning person nor a late night person. And Selena, for example, I'm like 9 o'clock, our last phone call. If we have phone calls that day, last one, I'm going to bed. And I'm not either one now. But anyways, unless it's a major sale that I want to go to. If it's a sale, if it's an estate sale, someone's having 75% off, 95%, heck, 50% off, I'm up ready to go. And the other part, knowing that I need a paycheck for our family budget, is what gets me up in the morning. Steph said it's a lonely path. Just saying that's what doesn't excite me. There you go. Wendy said, tell that to my son, Amy. God bless my son. He wants to focus on finishing his master's in music and then consider dating. Last girl was really psychotic and did damage. Well, maybe that's what he needs to do then, right? Yeah. That perfect one would come along. We all know this. The one that's meant for us. Nancy said her kitty cat gets her up. Bella probably gets me up. First snooze. First alarm goes off and she's like in my face. It's like the video that I see going around. It cracks me up because it's so Bella. And it's the one where the dog, and I think I've shared this with y'all before, so I apologize if I repeat. It's where the dog's going and the mom's asleep in bed and the dog's right there in her face and he's going, Mom, I know it's 7:03, but I eat breakfast at 7:02. So I thought I'd just let you know. Steph says, honestly, helping others, knowing I'm needed, that there's a purpose to my life other than taking up space. Yes. Selena was drawing a blank, and then she says her family and friends get her in the morning. Wendy says, I like to wake up to a turbis of coffee. Hubby leaves it next to my chair when he goes to work. That is so cool because Cool Ranch has the same little setup, I believe. Yeah, my man, he is up at between 5 and 6. We'll just go with that. He's out the door by 6, regardless. 6:15, the latest. So he's nowhere near when I'm getting up. So, all right, where was I? So yeah, a sale, the paycheck, all that kind of stuff. But next, you need to determine why it motivates you. I can pay less for something and sell it higher is what motivates me to go to a sale, right? I need to keep my lights on. I need to keep food in my tummy, gas in the car, and I need clothes to wear because I can't be running out in public naked, right? Don't want to be scaring people, giving nightmares and stuff. So right now, it's important to focus on the core motivation. The goals and the vision and methods and strategies, all of that will come later. See, Mike, Cool Ranch says, Mike gets my coffee cup in the Keurig. All I have to do is hit a button to bring my first cup, right? Good night, Christine. She's an early to bed person too. I mean, she's an hour ahead of me, right, Christine? So it's 9:47 there. So, again, our mission statement should define our personal callings. It should not be a reproduction of anyone else's as well. Again, we're unique. So another chat participation time seems to be fitting right here. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 the highest, I want you to tell me, how would you rate your present happiness meter? If you had a happiness meter, you got 1 that way, 10 this way. Where would you fall on that meter of happiness? And why is it that rate? I think mine would probably be about a 6, maybe a 7, but 6, 7, something like that. While I'm very happy on some things and things that are in my life and so forth, there are other things that I know I could improve on that would improve my overall happiness. So what is your rating on the happiness meter between 1 and 10, with 1 being the lowest? We got Steph coming in at a 5, Josie's at an 8, Cool's at an 8. And then tell me why you rated it that. Why did Steph rate a 5, Josie rated an 8, Cool rated an 8 as well. Wonder Woman Wendy says 7, because there's always room to be happier, and yet there's always room to be sad, or that's what life is, right? I can think of certain areas of my life that I'm like, boy, if I can just get that in check, if I can just get that together and quit getting myself in these stupid situations, I would be much happier. Right? Yes, Wendy. I'm definitely happier than not happy. Hey, Swamp Picker, welcome in. Good to see you. Jason said I would be a 10 if I had a different apartment where you could put up your hummingbird feeder, right? Tammy says, oh, sheep run scale. Nancy says 7, because I have a place to live. I'm alive. I can walk, breathe, talk. I have a job. I have good friends. Yes. Lisa D says a 7. She visited her brother Gilbert after church yesterday. He is very weak. His organs are shutting down. Otherwise, she'd be happier. And Stephanie said her why. My relationships with family are a lot of energy to maintain a level of health. It affects all other areas of my life. Very, very, very true, right? I know when I was having to take care of, I don't know why Siri's trying to talk to me. Go away. I didn't ask for you. Thank you. Okay, you'll just have to listen to me. Anyways. But yes, when I was having to take care of my stepdad.
Please try again.
Goodbye, Siri. Go away, Siri. But when I was having to take care of my stepdad, like that, I feel like was aging me of having to take care of him. And I saw it happen in other, areas. So that's very much a very true statement. Joanne says 8. I would be a 10 if I didn't have a physical disability that limits my mobility and travel plans. Cole says, I feel the Lord has blessed me with so many real friends, and I have a supportive friend. And I have a supportive, and you have supportive friends. I'll get it together in a minute. And family, yeah. Right? Yes. So, now that she's interrupted me, hold on just a second, guys. Sorry. Okay. So now we'll talk about the spotlight mission motivation. There are some people that you may know that just seems eagerly to jump out of bed in the morning, especially if it's for an important cause, like a not-for-profit type situation type thing. Scholars are driven to focus on education or research to provide tools for a better living, and others inspired to deliver a service to the market that is unique and helps others to live a better life. I can think of several of us on that. Josie, you crack me up. Selena says, I finally surround myself with great women that pick me up and cheer me on. They are my rocks. So what's your happiness meter, Selena, did you say? Did I miss it? What was your rating? 8.25. Yes, I did meet it. I did meet it. I did miss it. So Selena said 8.25. Tammy, now what Tammy said made sense. Pain meter 20. And then that's where she said, oh, shoot, wrong scale. All right, now I'm with you guys. I'm back with you. So, there are those people that they just get up and go because they got that purpose. They got that mission of their own. So your mission statement must be clear and consistent with what motivates you to move forward. The static rope that we talked about earlier is unchanging, unwavering support for us because it leads the way to our own very top of Hero Mountain. It's the discovering and defining our mission that is not only vital in the beginning of our journey of this climb, but providing unwavering support all the way through. So I want you to give yourself permission to understand yourself. Our halftime in life is a tremendous point in our life. When we allow ourselves to explore more options, the less likely we are to feel stuck in this thing that we call life. So for me, my mission statement might be driven by the desire to encourage and equip women and men to be better, do better, to provide all the tools, both technical and mental, that they will need to enjoy more positive motivation in the second half of their life than they did in their first. That would maybe be something, I would tweak that a little bit more, but that was something I could come up with quick. If you need a jumpstart list to jumpstart your brain, there's ideas like media, business, food, art, entertainment, technology, family, military, faith, religion, sports, etc. So we can now ask where our passions are leading us and why we think we're designed to pursue a particular course. Discovering and defining one's mission is an important process, and we can give ourselves permission to understand ourselves. So here we go, another chat participation time. Just like I did my mission statement, I thought we might briefly share each other's if it doesn't take you long. Don't make this difficult. Something right off the cuff that you can think of, and I'm going to give you some help in this. It does, Sandy. Selena does fall under entertainment. Right? Yes. Permission to give yourself grace. Permission to understand ourselves. Thank you, Nancy. So, just like I shared mine, something off the cuff and everything, and maybe you can't share now because you need to think on it. But if you can, I want you to fill in the blanks. Maybe it's something, like I said, that's quick, that you can think of, and maybe you break it down from there. You come up with, like I did, and you want to tweak it a little bit more. Your mission statement starts with, driven by the desire to fill in the blank. I exist to fill in the blank. When you do that, you'll have created your mission statement. So to fill in the blanks for you guys goes with, driven by the desire to, what is your desire? What are you driven by? The desire to blank. I exist to blank. Anybody that can come up with it quick. So again, for me, driven by the desire to, mine was encourage and equip women and men to be better, do better, to provide all the tools, both technical and mental, that they will need to enjoy a more positive, motivation, whatever, in the second half of their life than they did in their first. I gotta go back down here. So, driven by the desire to blank, I exist to blank. Driven by the desire to blank, I exist to blank. So Steph said, my mission would look like giving myself the grace I give others. In turn, it would give more of a positive impact on others. Yes, right on, Steph. Yes. Sandy says, bring happiness. Nancy says, to help others and help myself, the desire to better myself and others. Yes, perfect. So if you're the playback crew or you think on this and you want to kind of still share it with people, driven by the desire to, what is it? I exist to, what is it? That's what we're asking. Josie says, my mission is to try to help others not make mistakes that I have made. Yes. Selena shares, make people laugh, the desire to love. Wendy says, I'm driven by challenges in life and I'm determined to achieve each thing one at a time, not to be judged or judge others. Yes. Perfect, guys. Perfect. I was thinking this was going to be so hard to do tonight. I talked to Selena earlier today and I was just like, at first I was just like, I'm just not into tonight's topic. It's just not there. And then I went back, looked over my notes, added some things, took away some things, and I was like, okay, I can do this now. Y'all are great. Y'all are awesome. Lisa D says, closer to God to be more positive. Steph said, to guide others and be a light where only darkness exists. Yes, y'all got it. Sandy says, my mission was to raise children that knew the Lord. Mission accomplished, right? Awesome. So now let's talk about the what purpose statement. The what purpose statement. A purpose statement is a value proposition. What value can you give to someone through your business or life's work? Some of y'all have already kind of hit it on the head. Here you want to draw upon experiences, the skills, and strengths to fulfill our mission. Cool says, driven by the desire to live my best life after cancer. I exist to help others get through difficult life obstacles. Love it. Perfect. So it's very important that you look at your own life story and not ignore your past. Maybe we use our battles with insecurity and professional obstacles not only to grow personally, but also to help others. That is the part of your value proposition. So it sounds something like this. Drawing on both years of experience and the successful implementation of a well-developed business plan and goals, I equip others in every area of their lives to experience success in the second half of life. Lisa D says, the more positive and happy we are, life feels much lighter and we spread more over and kindness. Yes. So it's already chat participation time again. We went over who we want to be in 10 years. Now I would like for you to share what do you want to be in 10 years? Is it more secure? Is it to be retired? Is it to be married? Employed as what you always want it to be and do? What do you want to be in 10 years? These questions are a little hard and more involved tonight, guys. I understand that. But at least it'll get you to thinking. It'll get you to thinking more if you haven't already, especially if you're in your midlife like I am. So what do you want to be in 10 years? Nancy, be a chaplain. Love it. Where's my cursor? There we go. Yes. What do you want to be in 10 years? Lena says, I can bring a listening ear and not judge people for what they share with me, right? Amen to that one. Josie says, be a better person. Yes. Y'all keep sharing. I'm going to keep moving because we're at that 1 hour mark. Mission and purpose. Technical challenges are common at halftime. It's just how it is. That's why I want to help others. There is a huge demand and even opportunities for those who have life experience or what are currently defined as soft skills, combined with basic knowledge, whether it be technical or something else. Steph says, more financially secure, at least where most of my reoccurring bills are paid up 3 to 6 ahead, right? What a weight lifted to be able to breathe, knowing that you were that far ahead. Selena says, I want to have my 9 in a book to be someone who wrote a book with learning disabilities and still did it. Yes. Name, not 9. Sorry. To have my name in a book to be someone who wrote a book with learning disabilities and still did it. There we go. Wendy says, I want to be better than I was the day before, help others, especially with children. Yes. I can't wait to get my thing that I got for L from you. So, to further expand the why of your mission statement with the what of your purpose statement, you draw on your experience of learning by necessity. The where passion. Let's revisit that question after the what do you want to be, but where do you want your career or life to take you? Most of us that are facing halftime have lost our ability to just simply dream. We've forgotten what it was like as a child to imagine and to create and be excited about something. So I need you to also give yourself permission, maybe to that little girl, little boy that's inside of you. Give them permission to imagine and create again. But this time, to imagine and create a better second half than the first. We can all agree that change is important to move forward in life and or business. We also know that change is seldom comfortable or convenient, right? It takes us out of our comfort zone area. Change, good old change, it can bring a disruption to our life. It can rip us from our comfort zones that we're so comfortable and cozy in. And the biggest thing change brings to us is its violent moves and uncomfortable tension. No wonder it's so easy to lose hope while we're trying to reroute our life paths. Our climb up Hero Mountain is no easy feat. Healthy changes, however, can bring us much good in our lives. We have to let go of our fears and discouragement in order to move forward. Letting emotions go can be like conquering an addiction, as we discussed earlier. Appetite for substance doesn't just disappear like the vapors vanishing from something cooking on the stove or the gas when we put it in our cars. We see those vapors. We all know that addicts that are free of a harmful substance, that their body still craves it. Those of us, I'm pointing at you, but I got 3 pointing back at me type thing, right? Those of us that are addicted to sugar, we try to go sugar-free or without sugar, but our body just craves it. It just wants it. And our brain, it responds to those emotional triggers. And of course, when we try to resist those triggers, that's what brings the physical side effects. Things like headaches, nausea, or panic attacks. So let's do another chat participation again. What fears are you facing? I know I'm giving you a whole bunch of stuff tonight. What fears are you facing that could hold you back? Is it fear of the future, fear of finances, fear of relationships, fear of incompetence, fear of resources, even in knowing the right people. Are there other fears I didn't mention that you may have? What fears are you facing that could hold you back? Good night, Tammy. Thank you for being here. Steph says, growth is never found in the comfort zone. Haven't seen a comfort zone in so long. If it smacked me, I probably wouldn't recognize it. Selena says, I dream every day to create different looks in my house and to help people think outside the box and decorating to help others to create their masterpiece that tells a story in their home. Love it. Right, Steph? Sugar. I love sugar. And for me, I just need that one little fix, that little piece of chocolate or one little ice cream cone. I just need one. I don't need a whole bunch, just enough to get me by to the next one, right? Nancy says, not getting disability, fear of losing my best friends, right? Steph says, fear of relationships and financial insecurity. Josie shares, not being able to pay for my apartment. Yes. Those are true fears that we all have had, or maybe it's a different fear, but we all have fear. And y'all know me, I love fear. I love the acronym. Fear of not having sufficient finances after Mike retires. Boy, yes. That's one Robert has all the time. We're discussing it. But fear, are you going to face everything and rise, or are you going to fear everything and run? Selena says that I have a seizure that I don't come out of is a big fear. It stops me from going out a lot, right? It makes you feel like you're a hostage in your own home. Lisa D says, fear not being able to walk on my bad knee before able to have surgery. Yes. Exactly, Steph. She hits it right on the head. Fear needs to be a driver, not a crutch. So, as I was saying before the chat participation about resisting triggers, unless the triggers are challenged, those cravings will keep coming back again and again, on and on. Wendy says, fear of my health being a burden to someone else, seizures, diabetes, blindness, and now leg issues, right? All true fears. Charles Duhigg, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Duhigg. He's the author of The Power of Habit, yada, 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 yada. It's a long title. I didn't feel like typing it all out. But he's the author of The Power of Habit, and it's proved in several studies that have been conducted that a habit can change by replacing that habit with a healthy habit. We've all heard that, I believe. So when we want that chocolate candy bar, I'm not pointing myself out here at all. No. So when we want that chocolate candy bar, maybe instead, every time we want a chocolate candy bar, we grab some almonds, or maybe we grab some fruit or veggies, to where later on we don't even think about the candy bar because we're reaching for the healthy stuff, right? Not pointing at myself at all. When we look at healthy triggers, these healthy ones need to activate a desirable activity or object to replace the undesirable craving. The habit, the bad habit that you might have, needs to be replaced with a healthy habit that you have. A more desired habit, I should say. And remember, at first, this process is not always pleasant or satisfying. No. You're still going to pout about not eating the chocolate candy bar, and I'm not pouting. I'm smiling. At least I do. I pout. But this is why positive spot thought was centered around this, of letting go of some of the adverse feelings associated with change that will assist in our venture to move forward. when I first started doing, let me hold on before I get into this part. I don't say it because I'm an expert. I'm still struggling, hustling, and working it daily. Yes, and that's what you need to be doing every day. Hustling, working, maybe not struggling as much, but we get better and better and keep going and going. So it says, one day my dream is to meet all of you too, family. Yes. So when I first started doing Monday Motivation, get this, 3 years ago, this Friday, 3 years ago, this Friday, is when I started doing Monday Motivation, February 7th, 2022. I was quite uncomfortable when I committed to doing it. Something I really wanted to do. I wanted it so badly, but I was so uncomfortable with just the thought of doing it. I feared the task that laid before me. I feared that coming up with interesting topics for people to hear and the research that I had to do and the notes to come up with. I craved my comfortable, safe zone of not doing anything on Mondays. Despite my wanting to help motivate people to kickstart their week, to give people hope and confidence and accountability, I wanted to stay in that comfort zone. I knew, however, that this change was necessary if I wanted to fulfill my calling, if you will, if I wanted to provide something different on my channel. That's why in my intro video, if you have never noticed it before, there is a line in that intro video that says, come be a part of something different. That's the whole reason why that line's in there. I want this to be something different. That's always been my goal in Monday Motivation. But the process wasn't easy at first. Preparing took longer than I expected on some topics. I'm my own worst critic as well. Would this be something people could use in their life? Would it make a difference, or would it be a flop and people would make fun of me for doing this? She doesn't know what she's talking about. Why go over there? But I decided that this was important enough to me. This was important, and I felt it was needed in our community. And it must have been needed because here we are almost 3 years later and still going. Right? It gets me all excited. It gives me the chills. It gives me the warm, cozy feelings and stuff. Oh, Selena. God was in this, Scooter. This Motivation Monday has grew because you love the Lord and you're touching others' lives. You're special beyond measures. Thank you, Selena. And I didn't pay her to say that. But when I combine my skills and my passion with these topics I picked for you guys, it gives me the energy. It gives me the strength and the courage to make important changes, even when those changes take me out of my comfort zone that I've been in for a while. But having a willingness to change is crucial when crafting a purpose or a mission statement. Back to that. These statements will then serve as your own compass. So another chat participation, we did the who, what, and now I'm going to ask you where. Where do you want to be in 10 years? I want to be where I'm almost retired and ready to settle back and enjoy my grandkids more and maybe great grandkids at that point. That still blows my mind. God, that blows my mind. And I want to be with my husband and we're still able to enjoy each other and still do things. I want to be where we're traveling and still making memories. I want to be where my side business still brings me joy and I'm still doing it. What about you guys? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Here's where I share my notes and I just saw it. When I have to admit that when I think about 10 years, that I will be 60, but what has floored me in thinking about it is that my oldest granddaughter is going to be 22, 23. And if I dare let my brain go there, I'll possibly be a great Gigi. That scares the crap out of me for some reason. Maybe because I want more for her. I want her to live her life for a little while. There's nothing wrong with having kids young. Hello, I'm one of them. Yes. There's a benefit. I'm an empty nester at a young age. And now Robert and I can really enjoy each other and go do things and stuff like that. So don't get me wrong when I say that. But it does scare the crap out of me. So where do you want to be in 10 years, guys? Where do you want to be? Yes, I love that song. Yes, God in the story. Yes. Nancy Smith says, marry, travel, have a sound mind, right? Selena and I joked about this earlier today in Arkansas. Lisa D says, I truly love Monday Motivation, Scooter. You have put your heart and soul into those. It shows. I've come so far, and a big part is Monday night and Sunday morning and Max Lucado's books. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Lisa. Lisa D says, God is here. He's a big part of this with us here, right? Yes. Steph says, Monday Motivation has helped me personally both stay sober on the most difficult days and also not to truly feel alone, right? That's why I show up in your chat, Steph. That's why I go to your auctions and everything. Or when you're just talking, and you're talking about those struggles and everything. I'm there because I want you to know that you're not alone, but I'm here for the long haul. Josie says, wherever God wants me to be, right? So y'all keep sharing about where you want to be in 10 years. If you haven't figured it out yet, our purpose is our compass. We all need a good sense of direction, and having a purpose provides a guide. That's why all the newer vehicles have maps in them. Our phones have maps as well. And all we have to say is, hey, and I'm not going to say her name because she'll pop up on here, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Or type in the address of where we want to go to. No longer taking forever to study a map, as I told y'all earlier, to get to where we're going. With all of these, we do have to determine our cardinal direction. Are we going north? Are we going south? Are we going east? Or are we going west? We need to have a compass to know where we're going. Selena says, honestly, I want to watch Rylan have a beautiful life and is healthy and happy. All my babies. Happy. But Ryan scares me. It's an honest feeling. Honest gut feeling, Selena. Wendy says, I want to be in a clutter-free with an organized inventory room. It can happen. Still selling and talking to my YouTube family and writing and illustrating a children's book on type 1. Love it. Yes. Oh, thank you, Steph. Lisa D says, we all cry now. So, taking the time to define our main mission or purpose, along with determining our passion, will keep us focused with a magnetic guidance for our successful second half. When we look at our own personal compass, if it's off direction, meaning it's not pointing anywhere at all, then chances are that our success is going to diminish. No matter if it's a project you have going on, a business type thing going on, or even relationships we develop, it should relate to our mission with precision. All of these relate to our short and long-term goals as well. I'm starting here. I want to end up here. That's why it's so important that we do take the time with defining what our mission and our purpose is. And along with determining what our passions are, because that is what will keep us focused with the magnetic compass that's guiding us for our second successful half. It needed to be repeated again. Steph says, I want to be sharing in the moment you hold your great grandbaby for the first time. I want to be rooting. Josie has a voice with us, all still guiding us in 10 years. I want to share the screen with Selena, rooting for Rylan and how far he will be in 10 years. Yes, I love it. We need to be creatively brainstorming. We need to be dreaming about what we want for our future, because that stirs up excitement, and it stimulates personal projects to complete during halftime. I don't care if you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, or even your 80s. I don't care where you're at in that. Give yourself permission to brainstorm and dream about what is yet to come for your life. As long as you're breathing, you're still living. And if you're still living, why not still brainstorm and dream and see what else you can do before you take your last breath here on earth? Start with your why, then proceed by defining your what, and from there, go to your where. We all have general idea or sure what our passions are. It's not rocket science. Listen, this only requires you to have reflective time to honestly consider what really matters to you and where you want to go. If we can, we all want to avoid disappointments that come up from pursuing a passionless quest, right? We don't want to be passionless. We want to have passion. And those of us that are about to be, those of us that are, and even those of us that might be past the midpoint of life, this time of life, the halftime or even past halftime is a time to chase, still a time to chase a lifelong dream if you still haven't fulfilled one. Defining what and where has to come first. Then the how to fulfill one's purpose will come later with training and tools. Steph says, can y'all imagine Josie popping the guy that comes by and says anything about those hummingbirds, right? We'll have 50 of them out there. So the what is one's purpose and passion. Define yours now with a strong rope that leads you to the top of your hero mountain. We're almost done, guys. Just a couple more things. So let's do another chat participation. You thought we were done, right? You thought we were done already. Wrong. Just like the mission statement, I want you to now complete the purpose statement by doing the exercise of filling in the blanks. Again, drawing on years of experience in blank, I feel blank. No, that was wrong. Drawing on years of experience in fill in the blank, I fill in the blank. Here's an example for you to kind of get what I'm trying to say that I'm not saying so well. Drawing on both years of experience and successful Monday motivation, I equip women and even men in every area of their lives to experience success and to be motivated in their second half of life. So drawing on years of experience in, what is it? What is it? What is your purpose statement? If you can think of what your purpose statement is, please share. Again, I'm going to keep moving because I know we've been here for a little while. And again, if you can come up with something quick, you can fine tune it later. So those of you that says, okay, Scooter, one more time. Drawing on years of experience in blank, I blank. So y'all can be sharing. I'm going to keep moving. Mission and purpose standing together. So how do mission and purpose stand together? If you think of this example I have at work, the value proposition is everyone wants to work in an environment where success is the standard and their contribution is valued. So the mission statement might be striving to excel at our profession by being academically rigorous and continually challenging ourselves to obtain the next level of success. The purpose statement further defines what we do that is different from other firms that are not focused. The purpose states what the actual value that we provide that gives us a competitive edge or advantage. That assertion is vital because it provides everyone with a compelling reason for providing their services. Nancy says, years of experience helping others and myself and loving others, uplifting them in the Lord. Yes. And then Wendy says, for all the years of teaching, I will continue to help the next generation know God, respect, manners, love, and confidence. Yes. Perfect. So if you need to go back and rewatch the parts for the mission and the purpose statement, if you really wanted to partake in that, write it out and then share it. You can come back here, put it in the comments below the video, and share it out, and we can help hold you accountable to it. So, 1 hour and 27 minutes later. Right? Yes, Josie said the real success is my life. In my life, I think is what she meant, is when I learn to forgive and love. Steph shares years of experience in giving myself grace is giving others the empowerment. There we go. Using our word of the year, Steph. Awesome. Is giving others the empowerment to rise above themselves and their environments to rise others or help raise others up. Yes. Spoke from the future self. Love it, Steph. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So Selena says, for the hard times I've been through, I help others know their worth and not alone and get past the dark times and help them see the light in the life. Right? Yes. Y'all are awesome tonight. That's all I got to say. I don't care what anybody else says about y'all. Y'all are awesome. So thank you guys for starting off your week with me for Monday Motivation. I think most of the Monday Motivations are going to be a little bit longer than normal, like I stated at the beginning. But these things are so important that we go through together, and having the more chat participation and really kind of getting to know each other even more than what we have the past 3 years, right? So tomorrow night, and that's what I was thinking about, Josie, with you. She said, I did love being a nurse and helping others. It was just not a paycheck for me. But I was thinking about that, in my experience of being a nurse, that continues on, Josie, whether you're a nurse or not still. So are you, Lisa D. Oh, you're welcome, Wendy. It kind of gets you thinking when you read what other people say and so forth. Steph said, thank you, Scooter. It could be longer right now where we each need these more than can be expressed. Awesome. Yes. So tomorrow night, I will be on with my feather sister, Selena, for one fry short of a Happy Meal at 7:30 p.m. Central. Wednesday night, Selena and I will both be on. Lord help Josie and I. Just saying. But we'll both be on Josie's place to bring more deals, and that will be at 6 p.m. Central on Wednesday night. So make sure you subscribe to Josie's place. That way you don't miss this. Sandy says, let me always be a light that shows God love and grace before any worldly treasure. Yes. Cool says, thank you, Scooter, for all your prep and for continuing to do all these wonderful Monday motivations. Love you. Love you too. No worry. I get what you're typing down, Steph. I get it. So Thursday night, I haven't talked to Cool Ranch yet, but we should be on Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. Just be watching the thumbnails and so forth. Watch my community tab. But who else knows what I'm going to get into this coming weekend? You know, I don't work the flea market, so I might do another pop-up. So make sure you are subscribed, that you have the bell marked for all notifications, and don't forget the thumbs up on the layout if you haven't already done so. Next Monday night motivation, we'll be discussing another cable, and that will be our competency cable. So come on back next Monday. Continue the climb with me. Remember, letting go of some of the adverse feelings associated with change will assist in our venture to move forward. Rest up and be ready to continue the climb next week with me. Now let's do this thing. Good night, guys.